Welcome back. Welcome back. Happy Monday. It's the Don McKay Show here on the all new radioonfire.com. Of course, the Don McKay Show is sponsored by Flyers on Fire. If you need to create a flyer, Flyers on Fire can design your quality digital flyer in 24 hours. Are you promoting something on social media? Flyers on Fire can help brand your message with a quality flyer. Visit them on Instagram at Flyers on Fire. And of course, Radio on Fire is an advertiser supported audio and video network. Get breaking news, podcasts, TV shows covering topics that are important to our culture. RadioonFire.com is where you go to discover, engage, and connect with the latest news, podcasts, and of course, our original TV programming. So, this was a very violent weekend in many cities. We're going to talk about Baltimore right now. Over the weekend, seven folks shot in a drive-by shooting in Baltimore. Police say that at least 7 people were shot in this drive-by. One person left in critical condition. The Baltimore Sun reports that the shooting happened Friday night in West Baltimore. 4 of the victims were teenagers. What is going on here? I drove through this neighborhood on Saturday where the shooting happened, and it is just really sad that things have deteriorated to this point. But it is not only in Baltimore that this level of violence is taking place. So the shooting took place in the Walbrook area, Walbrook neighborhood. One of the victims, 19-year-old male, is in critical condition. The others wounded included a 15-year-old girl, a 17-year-old girl, 19-year-old woman, and a 26-year-old woman, as well as a 22-year-old and a 36-year-old. All these folks injured during this shooting Friday night in West Baltimore. So thankfully, the injuries are non-life-threatening, and it is reported that a silver Ford Explorer drove through a block while someone from the vehicle opened fire on a group of people. So they're investigating this. And, I have to say that this is not only happening in Baltimore, this level of violence. So, there are a lot of folks that come in the comment sections, for the Diamond Case Show, and they talk about, oh, Baltimore is a bad place, piece of crap. Like, they talk crazy about Baltimore, right? But this is many cities across this country. This is not only Baltimore that is going through this uptick in violence. Obviously, I spend a lot of time in Atlanta, and Atlanta is having the same level of violence in the city. So that is something that we are dealing with around the country. In addition to that, so this was a huge party weekend in Maryland. Morgan State University and Howard State University both had homecoming events. Sadly, an 18-year-old at Morgan State University, a student there, was injured in a shooting. There's homecoming events. There's all kind of parties. There's this Morgan Pride. There's Howard University Pride. A lot of acts in town and promoters and DJs that I know having events. And most of the events were, went over without a hitch. But the police are saying that around 6:30 Saturday, there was a shooting in the area of the school, Morgan State. Large presence, obviously, because of tailgating and other homecoming festivities. So the victim, taken to a hospital and treated, thankfully was released Sunday, according to Morgan State University. The school tweeted in a statement that at approximately 7 p.m. this evening, of course, this is Saturday night, they tweeted this, a shooting occurred at Morgan State University near the Montebello complex on South Campus. A Morgan State student was reported injured with non-life-threatening injuries and taken to a local hospital for immediate treatment. The area around Montebello complex is secure and there is no active threat to the campus. We encourage the campus community to stay clear of this area at this time as police activity is ongoing. They continued. Baltimore Police Department BPD is presently on site actively investigating the incident with the assistance of the Morgan State Police. As further details develop and more information becomes available, we will provide updates via MSU Alert, MSU Announce, and social media. They also said this: the University Counseling Center is available to any student in need of counseling and support by calling 800-422-0009 or 443-885-3130. So in a letter addressed to the university community on Sunday, the university president David Wilson said in part, "I also had an opportunity to check on our student and speak with his parents. It is a conversation that I will never be comfortable having, but it was important to convey our concern and support for this member of our Morgan family and his loved ones during this difficult time. I am pleased to report that our student is anticipated to make a full recovery." So that is good news there. I'm glad that Morgan State University jumped on this. They really, showed empathy, obviously, for the student, for the community. So kudos to University President David Wilson on handling this type of event. And of course, these type of things are difficult. I mean, as an educator, I can imagine there are a lot of things that they are prepared to handle. A lot of things that these folks are trained to do, and this is not one of them. This is definitely not something that they anticipated in all these years of schooling. In other Baltimore news, a woman found shot in a burning car Sunday morning in Baltimore. Detectives are investigating after a woman's body was found inside a burning vehicle in southwest Baltimore. So firefighters responded to the car fire just after 7 a.m. in Leakin Park, put out flames. The woman found inside on the passenger side of the vehicle also had gunshot wounds. Police say they are investigating the woman's death as a homicide and are working to identify her. Anybody with information is asked to call 410-396-2100 or the Metro Crime Stoppers at 866-7-LOCKUP. I mean, this is terrible. This is terrible. And Leakin Park, sadly, is one of those areas where violence can happen. It is a secluded, wooded area. Frequently, when there are these types of homicides, this is a place where bodies can have been found and are dumped and things like that. It's just because of the secluded nature of this location. It is just sad news. So I definitely want everybody to take care, be well. We're gonna take a quick break. Before we do that, it is the 10th annual Baltimore Music Awards. These awards were created to give recognition to Baltimore's entertainment community each year. You have the opportunity and the chance to nominate and vote for the winners in each category. You can see all of the finalists. RadioFire.com/Baltimore Music Awards. Some of the categories include album, DJ, documentary, female artist, male artist, producer, inspirational artist, online radio station, online radio show, podcast, radio station, radio show, stand-up comedian, and web series. Results will be announced Thursday, November the 4th, 7 p.m. live on radioonfire.com. It is the 10th annual Baltimore Music Awards. Let your voice be heard at this celebration of Baltimore entertainment. Again, visit radioonfire.com/Baltimore Music Awards Day. And the Diamond K Show is brought to you in part by jstoverbeauty.com. I want to talk directly to my ladies out there. If you are looking for those must-have beauty products, look no further. jstoverbeauty.com has quality wigs, Indian hair extension, virgin hair extensions, professional hair care products, edge control, flat iron mist, mink eyelashes, satin wig bags, wax sticks, lace concealer, lace tint, and so much more. jstoverbeauty.com also does custom wig making, maintenance, and revamp services. You can check them out on social media. J Stover Beauty on Instagram, J Stover Beauty LLC on Facebook. Be a girl with mind, a woman with attitude, and a lady with class. jstoverbeauty.com. Let's do this. We're going to take a quick break and come back on the other side of the program. This is the Diamond K Show on the all-new radioonfire.com. And we are back. Diamond K in here at the Diamond K Show at Radio on Fire. Of course, program also brought to you in part by Tasty Moscato. If you could pour sexy into a glass, this would be it. This smooth, seductive Moscato wine blended with vanilla takes your palate to a whole nother level of taste me. Unlike most, Tasty Moscato can be deliciously paired with a variety of meats, cheeses, veggies, as well as desserts. It's the sweet taste of luxury that you've been craving. You can search them on Facebook or Instagram. That is Tasty Moscato. So we're talking about violence and things like that. This is a case that I have been watching, and this Minneapolis cop gets nearly 5 years in the killing of a 911 caller. So this Minneapolis police officer shot and killed an unarmed woman. She called 911 to report a possible rape happening behind her home. So the guy was sentenced, and I guess nearly 5 years. This is the most that the judge could impose, but less than half of the 12 years that he was sentenced to. So they sentenced him, to that high number. And, many folks were, outraged at the amount of time that this officer was given. Now, so you're going to say, well, you mean you're outraged at the amount of time that the officer was given? So the lady that was killed was a white lady, an unarmed white lady. The officer is black. So, they're quick to throw the book at this guy. So that's something that had many folks outraged with regards to the sentencing. So Muhammad Noor was initially convicted of third-degree murder and manslaughter in the 2017 fatal shooting of Justine Damond. She's a 40-year-old dual U.S. Australian citizen. She's a yoga teacher. She was engaged to be married, and sadly, she was killed. So the Minnesota Supreme Court tossed out Noor's murder conviction and sentence last month, saying that the third-degree murder statute did not fit the case because it can only apply when a defendant shows a generalized indifference to human life, not when the conduct is directed at a particular person, as it was with Damon. So this was just something that endangered a lot of folks, it just did not apply directly to this situation. Thus, the sentence and that he was initially handed down had been thrown out. So that's how we got here again with this new sentence. So the judge, who also presided at Noor's trial, granted the prosecutor's request to impose the maximum sentence in state guidelines on the manslaughter conviction, which is 57 months, close to 5 years. In doing so, she brushed aside the defense's request for 41 months, which is at the low end. And with good behavior, ironically, Noor could be freed on supervised release by next summer. So, Mr. Noor, the judge said, I am not surprised that you have been a model prisoner. However, I do not know any authority that would make that grounds for reducing your sentence. She cited Noor shooting across the nose of your partner and endangering others the night of the shooting to hand down the stiffest sentence that she could. So the judge also remarked that because neither side had sought a departure from the sentencing guidelines, she was unable to deviate from them. Noor, who was fired after he was charged, has already served more than 29 months. In Minnesota, inmates who behave well typically serve 2/3 of their sentence and the remainder on, supervised release. Noor, who was, it's one of those things. He testified at his trial in 2019, and he said that he and his partner were driving slowly in an alley when they heard a loud bang. They feared that their lives were in danger. He said he saw a woman appear at the partner's driver's side window and raised her arm before he fired a shot. She was trying to get their attention. She's trying to get their attention, and he kills her. So he fired from the passenger seat to stop what he thought was a threat. She's just trying to get their attention. Like, I'm the one who called you, and then boom, boom. You know what I mean? It's crazy. So he was sentenced to the 12 and a half years on the murder count, and he's been serving most of his time in an out-of-state facility. So this is just a tragedy all around. Lady lost her life, and you have a police officer, a white lady loses her life unarmed, black police officer, no problem. They convict them. I don't hear the Blue Lives Matter folks coming around. I don't hear nothing. They're just all good with it. Shout out to Juan Nance. I need to holler at you, man. So that's the situation, and what I want to see is equitable accountability across the board, no matter race, no matter your job, no matter money, none of that. Right now, I may be hoping for too much, but that you got to set the goal. You got to set the goal high, right? The Diamond K Show, obviously, I am Diamond K, and I offer listeners a fast-paced political and cultural insights and discussions from an independent perspective. You can get this fresh, unique morning wake-up call on important news and issues affecting America. Join me weekdays, 8 a.m., 7 a.m. Central on radioonfire.com. Of course, you can always catch up on episodes of the program, radioonfire.com/Diamond K, or anywhere you get your podcast. Just search The Diamond K Show and like, subscribe, all that good stuff. The Diamond K Show is a Radio on Fire production. You can get the show on demand, as I said, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, WRF Radio's app, youtube.com/DJ Diamond K. Scroll your timeline, attend a Zoom meeting on mute, do some online shopping, all while listening to The Diamond K Show. And if you want to support the program and this digital network, head on over to radioandfire.com, grab a t-shirt or some other merch. You can become a sponsor of the Diamond K Show for as low as $50. More information, djdiamondk@gmail.com. I'm able to deliver our news and our views on this program because of our listeners and sponsors. Radio and Fire is powered by the people, and we appreciate your support. I will be back later on today because there's always news going on. There's always things that we need to talk about. So I will be back later on today. RadioandFire.com is where you go.